me, Nesser! Hey, it's me, Nesser. Welcome to Nesser Pod. This is where I dive a little deeper into some of my guests' lives. Sometimes we dive a little too deep, other times we stay on the surface vibing. Either way, come along on this journey. I hope you enjoy this episode.
How does that feel, like training with someone like that? Because he pretty much changed kind of the interface of what we see as MMA, UFC.
Well, he did. He brought MMA to Ireland, really.
Yeah.
Like, there was obviously MMA in Ireland at the time, but I think McGregor kind of blew it up. Everyone wanted to do MMA once McGregor did it. You know
I was in
mean?
America. I didn't know who McGregor was. I was pretending I knew. I was like, yeah, I'm from Ireland.
Yeah, and you
Top of the morning.
yeah, you're expected to know who McGregor is.
Yes, I love McGregor.
Do you know what I mean? He changed it. I wouldn't say he changed it, but he brought
some eyes onto it.
Yeah, because people weren't really like,
like
it's still not a recognised sport in Ireland. Like,
it's just McGregor.
It's just, like, they don't care. Really. But now McGregor brought more light onto it.
But how does that feel? Like, because somebody who pretty much changed how people view your sport.
Yeah, it's at the start, like I said, you're fangirling, like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's McGregor. But then after a while, you just see him as another human being, like, you know. At the end of the day, he is like.
Talking about human beings, flaws, and McGregor has more than a couple. Does that change how you see the person when you see all the stuff on the news about him, the different kind of allegations, court cases, all of that? Like,
no, like, to be honest, it's once you step on the mat, you're there to train.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like you leave your shit at the doors, or you leave your shit on you know, that's what I say, leave your shit at the door. So I don't judge anyone that comes on the mat, you know, because people have past, people have whatever. You just kind of train. Like, that's what we're there to do. Like, you're not there to be best buddies with anyone. You're there to train and
then when you step off the mat, how do you feel about it?
I know.
You personally just.
I personally don't care. Like, okay. You know, people might say that's, you know, you should have an opinion and all that, but personally, I don't care. Like, I don't. It doesn't affect me in a way. That I'm like, oh,
I don't think you should, and I think people overestimate how much people should care about everything that goes on, and I think that things are important to care about, but sometimes, like for me, I kind of started. I've always been an activist at heart. So whether it's an environmentalist for people, like I care about people, I care about things. But after the last couple of years, I found out that caring about everything else is a detriment to myself. Yeah. So it's kind of like I can't. If I'm caring about other people, I'm an empath. Like, I'm always caring. Like, bro, there's only
I'm very much like that.
I'm tired, bro. Like, emotionally, I'm done. So that's really interesting to hear, because I mean, I can relate to you in the sense of being a female in a male-dominated sport, but I grew up in a sport that's kind of well-known, well-recognized, so soccer, right? Yeah. But I was seeing all of these athletes as fans. Like, I'm a big fan girl. I was caring so much about their career, and when you grow up and see them as humans, it's almost hard to respect them sometimes. And like, for me, like, as being a black woman, there's certain, for example, I support Liverpool. Like, Suarez is being racist, like, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to be a striker like Suarez. I can't. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it warps my sense of reality, kind of being like, oh, cool, they're just an athlete, but no, they're not. Like, they're just a human being.
They are human at the end of the day.
Plays this sport really well.
Yeah, I agree with you with the whole people caring about people. You know, I've come to a stage in my life where I don't care what anybody thinks, because like at the end of the day, it doesn't affect me. Yeah. You know, I know what I want to do. If I want to train in McGregor's gym, like, people have ridiculed me for training in McGregor's gym. Jeez. Yeah, because like, why would you want to be associated with McGregor? Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it's a gym, you know. I'm there to train. I want to be the best. You have to train with the best. John is one of the best, if not the best coach in the world at the moment. Jeez. Do you know what I mean?
What's your relationship like with him?
I have a great relationship with John. He kind of took me under his wing, because I'm not from Dublin. I'm from Mayo. So like, my family all live in Mayo, so I moved up here by myself to train when I was just gone 18. I would say maybe 17, gone 18, and like, he didn't just accept me into the gym. Like, I had to go for a trial week. I had to try out to be allowed into the gym. And then after, he was like, yeah, okay, like, you're good, you're whatever, you can come back. So I had to move my whole life to Dublin at 18 with no parents. Like, my parents supported me, but they didn't come with me. Like, they're still in Mayo, like, you know. Oh my God, I shit on myself. Yeah. But like, I'm going for a little country girl to city. Do you know what I mean? And so John, now I don't know whether I'm one or the other, but John took me under his wing, and he still does. Like,
What does a trial for MMA look like? What is that?
So I had to go up for the week and do all the classes and do it all everything he said to do.
What's the class?
MMA class.
I,
So
I know nothing.
Yeah, no. So for Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. you
Yeah.
have MMA.
Yeah.
So like Monday you'd have like say positional rounds. So position. So you go on, you do positions.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday it's 5-5. So you do 5-minute rounds.
Oh, nice.
Same again Thursday and Friday, and then Wednesday it's kickboxing rounds.
Jeez.
So it is tough, like, and they're all with pros now, all professional fighters, and maybe like there's like 20 amateurs, I say, that are allowed to be part of that team.
When did you start fighting?
When I was 4. Yeah, I started kickboxing and Bruce Lee's like self-defense when I was 4. Yeah, and then I carried it on. I always did it, but I also did like Irish dancing. You know, my mom was like, "No, you have to go into a girls' sport." Like, my dad was very much into martial arts, so he was one who kind of like pushed me into it. And then I played county GA. What do you call it here? GA. I say GA, but GA. Like I played county GA for like 3 years. Yeah. But then it came to a stage where I like didn't have enough time. But like I was leaving, sir. I was doing county. I was doing kickboxing all the time. I was doing so I had to. So I chose fighting. Yeah.
What does a young girl in Mayo choosing MMA look like? What did your life look like?
And it was non-existent. You know, people never like that's never like no one in Mayo. It's very much GA. That's it. That's all that there is. Yeah.
So nobody really cared about what.
No one cared at all.
So then, how were you fighting? Where were you fighting?
Like I'd have to travel like 50 minutes to an hour away from where I lived to get to the next town to do it with men. Yeah. At 17, I was rolling around and I was training with grown men. And now it did pay off for me at the end, like you know, because like now I'm training with girls. I'm like, okay, it's not as bad, but it was weird. Yeah. At the start, I was like, oh god, no, I don't want to do this. You know, you're rolling around it, you know. So then, you know, the women, there's still not enough women in the sport.
How do people perceive you? How do you think people perceive you?
In MMA or in general?
In general, in what you were doing at that time versus now, if it's
at the time they were very judgmental. Like Newport, like Mayo would be a very small town. You can imagine it's everyone knows everyone's business. It's that kind of town. So when they were like, "Where's Sinead?" Like she's gone to Dublin to train with John. Who's John? McGregor's close, but who's McGregor? Like it's very much everybody's 2 steps backwards. You know, back behind. Like so, it was a bit like, oh, but she didn't go to college. I didn't go to college. Yeah. Well, I did. I did a PT course, but I didn't go to college for 4 years and come out with a master's or a degree. Like, it wasn't for me.
Were you good at school?
No, I was not good at school. Oh god, I hate school. I would make every excuse in the book not to go into school. In the leaving cert, I swear to God, I went in and maybe for around 3 weeks. Yeah. Like, it's study day.
So were the only people you felt that were on your side at that time just your family?
And to this day they still are. Yeah. To this day they always will be. I have a great relationship with my family, to be honest. My mum was a bit skeptical. She's like, "Oh, will I let her go, or will I?" You know, my dad was like, "Sure, look, what if it goes wrong?"
What's your family dynamic? So, were you the youngest child?
I'm the oldest of 3 of us. Okay. I have 2 younger brothers. Yeah.
So you're her little girl.
Yeah. So one didn't want me to move, whether I was going for college or not. You know what I mean? My dad couldn't wait to get rid of me. Like he was right off you go. Yeah. You know what I mean? They paid for my rent when I moved up here when I was 17. They paid for everything. Like I didn't spend the time. Like you know what I mean? And when I got my PT course, you know, then I could start working. And you know, now I have a business and all that, which is great. But at the time, people were like, "Oh God, can't believe you let your daughter do that." It was very much ridiculed. Like my parents were very much judged. Like for just because of my decision.
I'm really happy to hear that. Because I feel like once again, as a girl in a male-dominated sport, like. Bunch of aunties coming asking me what I'm gonna marry, like bro, I'm 14, allow. Like I was
especially with MMA, they're like, oh my god, fighting in a cage, blood, elbows.
It's a very masculine sport on top of it being male dominated.
Yeah, it is a masculine sport, and I think people look at me very like, oh, she's very masculine. Like someone said that to me yesterday. You need to be a bit more feminine. I didn't know how to take that as a compliment or an insult.
It's an insult.
Yeah, because I was like, no, I was a bit like, are you messing? Like, like, no, but you're in MMA. That doesn't mean I'm masculine. How just because I could probably bury it.
How did
you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? So,
I don't. You know. I run away from fights, but yeah, you know.
No, but in all seriousness, I was just like looking at her. I was like,
I struggled with the gender roles when I was younger. And I don't want to go here. I'm gonna get cancelled. I'm happy that I grew up when I did, in the sense that the confusion was within me, and not within society.
Mm-hmm.
I see society very confused right now. And I feel
Yeah,
like if I grew up now in the sense of I was wearing my brother's clothes, I would probably have more masculine clothes than him. Do you get me? I was shopping in the male side. So for me, I was still a woman, but expressed that differently. Like, and I'm finding out things, but I feel like then my family kind of just let me to Fred didn't have a choice at that stage.
Yeah.
But I feel like right now people are telling young girls that you have to look this way or you're this type of person.
Agreed.
If you're a tomboy, you can't be straight and a tomboy. You can't want to do these things and be straight. It's almost like how I see myself as a woman has now masked itself into my sexuality as well. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I mean that I'm happy about when I grew up, because it was in here and not around me. And I feel like right now, like you said, like, and that's why I said it's an insult, because what the definition of what femininity looks like keeps changing. So how dare someone tell you to be more like a woman? Like, the second I am here, I am me, and that's enough. Like, I'm expressing that.
I was like that when I grew up. I used to wear tracksuit. Tracksuit.
Still do.
I still do. I don't care. Like, so well, like with my lifestyle, I don't have time to have it being makeup. I don't have time for that. Like, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. You know, I go to PT and then I have altitude and then I go straight to MMA. I come home, I sleep for an hour and then I go back to training. I don't have time to be straightening my hair. You know, like
how do you perceive other women? What's your relationship with women?
Honestly, I don't really have many friends that are girls.
Why?
I don't seem to get on with girls. I don't want to say I don't get on with girls. I'm one of the nicest people you meet. I'm very friendly and everything.
I met you.
I feel like girls are very judgmental because I'm doing MMA. I think that plays a huge part. I get on with lads very well. I get on with boys very well. Even when I was a kid, I used to always like play soccer or go out. You know, I'd never be sitting in the classroom playing with dolls or whatever. I'd be out getting mucky or whatever. So I feel like girls get jealous if you're getting attention. So if I'd walk into a room, I'm like, hey, what, you know, like.
And you fit in easily when girls that aren't allowed around lads very often have to think about a process of speaking to a guy. But for a girl like us, it's kind of like, it's just a guy.
I think we're very much like
we're very much similar. So everything I'm asking you, I should have probably given you this as a disclaimer. I'm never asking you in a sense of it's never a loaded question. I'm asking because I genuinely want to know how.
But I feel like they get jealous of maybe the attention. Even if I say hello, you see some girls are like, oh God, and you're like, what do you want me to do? Walk past and ignore it? I talk to the wall. Anyone that walks into the gym, whether I know you're not, hey, what's up? I'll always say hello to you no matter what.
Did you feel the pressure to fit in when you were in secondary school, for example?
I didn't fit in at all. I was extremely bullied in secondary school and primary school. Because I was different. So first, second, third year, TY year, maybe fifth year, I was like, right, I have to fit in. How can I? And I tried to. Then it came to a stage where I was like, I actually can't. It was emotionally draining me. Like, I didn't want to go in because I didn't fit in. So I just had to accept that. Look, you're different. That's the end. But I'm actually glad I accepted it. Because, you know. You're you. I'm, you know.
Like, the second you leave school, you're still you.
I feel like I'm interesting.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not like one of them.
And I found that when I was growing up, right? I had a different thing where I'm just naturally kind of a people pleaser. Like, I love
attention. I am as well.
And I went to an all girls school, so I was stuck with it. Do you get me? Okay. So going from primary to an all girls school, but the difference with me is that, like, because I'm so loud and I was good at school, I kind of just got on with it and I just fit in with kind of a popular crowd. But then it came a place where when I wanted to start taking school and football very seriously, for some reason now my friendships are breaking up, and it seems like I feel like, or they feel like I feel like I'm better than them. But it's like, no, I just would rather spend my time doing this instead of doing this. And it's kind of, that insecurity just kept being projected.
This is very good you're saying this, because I always thought it was just big.
No,
I don't. I find with girls, like, I'd say I had 2 or 3 friends there, and they were like, yeah, you don't spend time with me. You don't have any time for me. You don't have time to go out partying and drink. That doesn't fit into my lifestyle. Like, I'm in camp right now, I'm fighting in 4 weeks. I'm not going to go out.
And does that put a strain on your friendships?
Well, at the end it ends up breaking up. I end up leaving the.
Do you feel like you're very kind of? Do you like emotions? Do you feel your emotions?
Too much sometimes.
How do you deal with that?
I used to be very bad when I was younger. I used to be real, like, angry. You never see me cry. You'd see me get angry. I'd get like raging,
Yeah.
angry, like throwing things, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say this, but like I used to be very angry. I used to have a temper on me, like, you know. As I got older, and Peter will tell you this, Peter is probably one of the people that actually helps me kind of nod you down a bit, you know. I need to think about the situation. I never used to think. I used to just be like, oh my God, it's the end of the world, you know. And realistically, the problem is minute. Like,
do you say used to? Oh, I did that yesterday. Like, I
still
do it on a daily basis. Like,
I still do it to this day, but I don't do it as much as I would have. Do you know what I mean? But I find MMA helps me with that, control that kind of a bit.
Is that why you found more of an affinity to it? Is that why you felt you were drawn to it?
Yeah, definitely. When I was growing up, I had very bad anger issues.
Yeah.
I know, really, like, I had a great childhood. I really don't know why I had anger issues, to be honest. I think it's just that's the way I show my emotions. Like, you know what I mean? So,
what disciplines has MMA taught you?
Is it really discipline? I don't know. It's
What has MMA taught you?
Everything. It's my life. Like, do you know what I mean? It's taught me self confidence, self esteem, to be different.
Yeah.
Like, to be different. It's okay. Like, do you know what I mean? That sounds so corny, but like, you know,
I agree.
It's like when I was in school, I was like, no, it's not okay. Like, I'm not okay when I'm
because we live in a world that you were meant to conform or get out, like, and there's like even in school, like, I still did well in school, but I wanted to be a clown, but it wasn't enough that I did well. Like, I'd get 100% in everything, like, but they still wanted me to be a certain way, and like, I've looked at my mom in the eye and told her, like, look, if this is what you want me to do, I will do that. Hand you whatever, and then I'm gonna go and do whatever I want to do.
That's exactly what I said to my mom.
And it's like, it's nice to have your family behind you, because once you are done outside, you always have to go home, right? And I'm so happy for your situation that your family were able to support you in your dreams and going into MMA. And speaking of support, like, what support in general in Ireland, like, for MMA? You said it's not really recognized.
It's not recognized. So Sport Ireland, the organisation, don't recognise MMA as a sport.
Why not?
Well, they said it's barbaric and
they actually use those words.
They use sadistic and barbaric. Yeah, it's implanted in my head. Like, imagine using them two words.
Yeah.
But yeah, boxing is recognised and taekwondo is recognised and every other martial art is recognised, but MMA.
What's the difference?
Boxing is just hands. Like,
no, yeah. So
there's no difference realistically.
Yeah.
It's still a martial art.
Yeah.
Like, it all comes under the same bracket of martial art. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, for now, like, so in 4 weeks I'm going to fight for Ireland, but everything is coming out of my pocket.
Yeah.
Everything is coming out of the other athletes' pocket. You don't get any funding. At all.
Does that make it hard to stick to your sport, or does that? Make
it does, because money doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah.
If you live in Dublin, you know how expensive rent can be and how expensive everything is. You know what I mean? You know, I work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Monday to Sunday.
Yeah.
I just done a 12-hour night shift last night. And I haven't slept.
Okay,
do you know what I mean? So that's just an example. Like, I have to work extra hard to be able to pay for Italy and pay for. Do you know what I mean? It's like 800 quid just to get your name in the competition. 800 quid.
That's crazy.
You know? So we should be recognised 100%.
So why do you keep going?
Because it's what I want to do. You know what I mean? I have a goal since I was about 12, I think, to get to the UFC.
Yeah.
Eventually, whatever age it just be like. Do you know what I mean? So, and because I love it, like, I don't think I'd be happy without MMA.
Yeah.
Even if I miss a day of training, I'm like, oh shit, miss a day of training. Do you know what I mean? You get a bit down on yourself. So I just think that if MMA wasn't in my life, I probably would be off doing things I shouldn't be doing.
Do you know what?
Get in trouble or something.
That happened to me when I was younger. Like, I was meant to play for Ireland when I was 15 because I was born in Nigeria. I was an Irish resident, but I wasn't Irish citizen.
Yeah.
So I couldn't play for Ireland at the time. We didn't really know what it was.
That actually happened to me as well.
Why? How?
Because I have a British citizenship.
Oh.
Because my parents are British. So I didn't have an Irish passport.
So when did you come over here?
When I was 2, but I didn't have an Irish passport.
Why did your parents come here?
What they told me is they wanted to not bring me up in, like, the gang areas. You know what I mean? Like, they lived in Brixton, I think. So it's pretty rough area. So they brought me over here when I was 2. And then so that was it really.
Do you have any connections to Brixton still? Do they still?
No, all my mum's family live in London. Like, Wimbledon.
Why is your name Irish?
Because my dad's mum and dad are Irish. But they met in the UK and they had him in the UK.
But then, what's your connection to Ireland? How do you feel about Ireland?
Oh yeah, it's my country.
Yeah,
I don't have anything for the UK.
Yeah.
I don't. Like, I have a passport, I have Citizenship, which is all well and good if I need to go over there. Yeah. But realistically, I'd fight for Ireland.
Yeah.
But that happened to me, I had to get a passport and everything like that.
Yeah. And how was that for you? How was that process? How did you feel about that?
I thought it was great having 2 passports.
Yeah.
I was like, with Brexit and all that, this is coming at a great time, isn't it?
Did you only just get this recently?
Yeah, it was, no, it was about 3 or 4 years ago, but it was when everything was coming in, like,
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, it's great having 2. Sure, if I want to go over there and live there, I can live there, do you know what I mean? So it is a good option if I need it, like, do you know what I mean?
You don't seem like you have any identity problems between UK and Ireland.
No.
So you grew up Irish.
100%.
And you are Irish.
Oh my god,
because
I'm as Irish as they come.
And bro, you're ginger. Like,
yeah, like you know what I mean. So my whole family is ginger.
Even you write your name in.
I will always go with my Irish name.
Why?
Well, I went to an Irish primary school and Irish secondary school, so it was always Nuaillan, and it was never Nolan. Like you know, it only was really Nolan if you know my passport and on kind of government documents. Otherwise, Nuaillan.
I love
people
that.
try and say it like it's actually horrendous the things people say.
Yeah.
You can't even imagine half the stuff. Even when people are announcing it at fights, they've
Nigerian name.
They've chopped it up and thrown it away like it looks bad.
Thrown that in a blender.
Yeah,
that's really interesting because I think both of us kind of have a very similar journey, but from two different angles, and I love that. Just talking to you right now, I'm loving it. And with your fight coming up, so talk to me about fight week or like that's I always hear that like fight week with
so it's
aging all of like obviously it's a different sport, but like what does 4 weeks before a fight look like for you?
4 weeks before a fight, well, you're still doing your normal stuff. It's realistically it stops kind of a week out, a week and a half out, all the hard training kind of stuff. You still train every day, but you might like do as many rounds, like not as much impact because you don't want to get injured and stuff. And then fight week, the whole week, so it's from Sunday to Sunday. It would be like cut weight, eating low calories, all that kind of stuff to get your weight down. That's all that week is about, really, mentally and getting your weight down. That's kind of what that week's for.
What weight category are you in?
56, so flyweight.
So that's quite light.
Yeah, it's light. Like it's
what categorizes that weight class? So obviously, I'm always gonna go back to boxing because that's what I know more. Obviously, the heavier the weight class, you're thinking power. Not as much speed. Do you get me? Knockouts, like. With you, is it grappling? Is it like?
For me personally, no. Like I'm not a grappler. Like I can grapple, but I prefer to strike because obviously I've been kickboxing since I was 4. But like with
what
girls,
is striking?
Punching and kicking, like boxing, but kicks that.
Grappling is more wrestling.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
I got this.
So you don't even
teach me.
But so like girls that are like 56, they're quite light. Like you can imagine.
I mean, I can't. I think the last time I was 56, I was about 10 years old.
Yeah. I was about 46 at that stage, to be honest. But it is more grappling with the ladies. You'd find it's more grappling with the ladies.
But, so then, in the sense of where you stand out in your game, how do you incorporate what you want to do, the striking and that, in a sense where people want to grapple, you're like, is that the word?
No, that's correct. I think I'm quite strong for 56. Like I'm quite like I'm not like a petite person. I like think I have a bit of bit of gains. Like do you know what I mean? So
we're walking out here like McGregor.
Yeah, that's what I like to think. I have a bit of size. So I think I'm quite strong for 56. So for pro, I'll go down to 52.
Yeah.
So I'll drop a whole another weight category.
Okay.
So then I'll be a skinny mini.
I want to talk about that. Yeah. But back to fighting other people a certain way. How do you incorporate your techniques, your favorite techniques? Because, for example, soccer, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of who I'm playing, I have my strengths, right? And I want to play to my strengths. I want to run. I want the ball at my feet and I want space. But if I'm playing someone that doesn't want to give me that, how do you navigate someone that just wants to grapple you is only showing you a certain amount of like surface area or whatever, but you want to strike? Like, do you change your fighting pattern, or do you kind of stick to what you want to do?
No, I don't. See, you don't worry about what they're doing. You worry about your game. You go in like, right, okay, I'm gonna go out in the first round and I'm gonna leg kick her. I don't know, whatever thing. That's that's what I would think. I did fight someone before, and she absolutely smothered me for 2 rounds. Yeah. She was on top of me, and I was like, oh my god, this is so frustrating. Yeah. Because you're trying to do what you want to do. That's okay. Because I'm guessing like grappling, you're on the ground, you're close to the
or up against the cage. Exactly. But you want to kick, so you need a bit of leg room to go, right?
And it gets frustrating.
I'm on one session with Opie, and I know what to do.
God, don't mention Opie.
But yeah,
good old Opie. Yeah, Opie's Don't even mention.
Yeah, let's not mention him. Back to
yeah.
Okay, so I'm grappling, right? Me and you are fighting right now. I'm grappling. I'm on the ground. I'm trying to drag you down here, but you want to kick me. What's going through your head right now?
Well, you need to make space.
What's your thought process?
You have to make space.
How?
You have to dig up, like you have to break away some way. So say like you're on the fence or something, 50-50 on the fence. Yeah. Imagine you probably watch the UFC or something.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, it's 50-50 on the fence and it's 50-50 on the floor, unless you're in a more advanced position. So you have to turn, like, flip the position. Yeah. So it's not easy, like, but yeah, you're have to make it's a mental game as well. So when someone's on top of you, I get so frustrated. I'm like, oh my God. Just go away. Yeah. Go back up. Bro, start again.
Do you know what's so bad? People don't get that, right? So obviously that's a contact sport. Football's not a contact sport, but I don't want you touching me. Yeah. Like don't be all up on me. Like give me some space. You get me? Yeah. But back to that then. So how do you keep sane? Like how do you stay in there mentally? How do you keep yourself from not being frustrated when I'm doing the complete opposite of what you want me to do?
Well, do you want to win? Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, this is
no, sorry, no. It was just
I was like, yes, I want to
question. Do you want to win? Like, you're not like if you're gonna stay in the fence, you're gonna lose the round. Yeah. If you lose a round, you're one round down. That means you have to work extra hard for the next 2 rounds. Yeah. Do you know
how many rounds are there?
So in amateur it's 3-3, so 3 minutes, but pro it's different. Okay. For amateur it's 3-3. So but if you lose 1 round, you only have 2 rounds to come back. Okay. And 3 minutes isn't that long. Yeah. It takes me a good minute to get into the fight, and then you have 2 minutes left to actually make something happen. Like, you know what I mean?
Do you like knocking people out?
So I absolutely love fighting. I love being hit.
I understand why Sports Ireland said this sadistic and barbaric. What do you mean?
Yeah, like I love it.
There was a twinkle in your eye when you said that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know it sounds mad.
That's
people are gonna be like, "Jesus, this woman's crazy."
But what does that feel like? Like I don't like.
It's an adrenaline rush for me.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Yeah, like I like being hit. Yeah, like I spar the lads. Like the lads I joined spar. Like no problem.
What do you mean? Like I
it
can't
just gives me a fire.
Like, if someone hits me, I'm
not in the street. Like I don't want you to come up and deck me in the street. Like when it comes to that kind of stuff, I know. But like in sparring and I like want you to hit me. Like some of the lads that go real light, and I'm like actually hit me. Not in a weird way.
Sports Ireland, please. I'm trying to help. I'm so sorry.
I'm not doing a very good job here.
I hear it because it's the same with boxing.
But most other fighters would say the same thing to you. They enjoy it because if you don't enjoy getting hit, why are you like?
So in fair enough. In MMA, right? So do you have body shots? So what's off limits? Is everything
in amateur MMA? You can't knee to the head and you can't elbow.
And then
in pro, you can knee to the head and you can elbow.
What's that? So
I know.
What's been? Have you been knocked out?
No.
That's why you were saying they want you knocked out.
Thank God, yeah.
But have you ever been injured? Like what's been?
Yeah, I broke my worst injury in MMA was I broke my collarbone. It was the worst. I can't even describe to you. Yeah. It was so bad. I screamed the gym down. John came.
Oh, was it in training?
It was in training. In a fight, I've never been that bad.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe muscle damage and stuff and black eyes. Yeah. And I come home with black eyes all the time. I can't walk beside Peter sometimes because people are like.
Yeah, no.
I have to my eye because I'm ginger. I bruise like a peach. Like, do you know what I mean? But
that's crazy.
Yeah, my collarbone was probably my worst.
So how do you train to knock a hit? So we talked. Do you get me? So we've talked about grappling. We talked about grappling, and obviously you're attacking. You're kind of mindset focus. You're trying to throw that person off. I'm sure body shapes and body movement, flinching, all of that, like drop the shoulder. But now, how do you train to not be hit?
Drilling, practice.
What does that look like? What's a
practice? Head movement is very important, especially for me because I'm always a smaller fighter. Yeah. Look at any of my fights. They're like just looking down at me. And it's always going to be like that no matter what weight category I'm in because I'm extremely small for the sport. Like, do you know what I mean?
Is that not a benefit to you?
It can be an advantage. I use it to my advantage, but there's disadvantages to it. Like, my arms are tiny compared to other people. Okay. So if I jab...
So you need to be closer to them.
Yeah. So I have to work in by moving my head. I can't leave my head in a straight line because I keep... Crazy. My head will just keep going back.
And the training is crazy.
It's very hard.
It's very
extreme. It's like 2-3 times a day in camp. Like... Obviously, I train with Danny, and he's my strength and conditioning, so I do 3 sessions a week with him. Yeah. Then I have MMA Monday to Friday. I sparred the lads on a Saturday morning, boxing. Yeah. And then Sunday, I take Sunday off. Well, it's very. I say I take it off, but.
You'll do other things.
Yeah.
What does rest look like for you?
I like to do active rest, like go for a walk or
Yeah.
do 40 minutes cardio or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Do you feel like when you're not actually training, how does that play on your mental health?
When I'm not training,
Yeah.
it's rough. Yeah, it is rough because I like routine.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have my routine. Like I know I get up at 4:30.
Yeah.
I go to the gym. I do my PT. I do my. I have a whole routine for the whole week.
Yeah.
Do you know, and when it starts, my routine kind of goes. It kind of puts me off.
Do you feel like your love for the sport is more than that? Do you feel like it's something that, obviously you said that you're everything, you're nothing without MMA, but do you feel like, do you think you could find yourself outside of MMA?
No.
Why not?
No. I've been doing like the new martial arts since I was 4.
Yeah.
I've never been Sinead. It's always been Sinead and fighting, or Sinead and training, Sinead and coaching, Sinead and PTing.
What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear?
Yeah.
Honestly?
Yeah. Everything is on.
That's actually a very good question. I don't want to say probably failure.
What does failure look like?
Not sorry.
Can you hear her? Okay.
Not making my parents proud, probably. That's my one goal in life.
Do you feel like your parents are proud right now?
No, they are extremely proud. Oh yeah, they tell me every day. My mom rings me every day.
So
you know what I mean?
So is that a realistic fear?
Yeah. Because what if I don't make it to the UFC? Just not the end of the world.
No, literally.
Yeah.
That's my question. What if you don't make it to the UFC? Who are you outside of that?
Probably personal training.
Okay.
Probably have to go to the other thing I'm good at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm good at anything else really.
Have you tried anything else?
Yeah, no, like I don't feel like you need to try too many things because I know I have belief that I'm gonna.
Yeah.
You know, I know I'm dedicated.
I'm not trying to knock you.
No. I know that I'm I'm dedicated to sport. You know,
Yeah.
I know I've no major injuries that are
Yeah.
gonna stop me. But you never know. You could break your leg and you could
Yeah.
never fight again.
Yeah.
Then what are you gonna do? You know, there's always that. But
Yeah.
I have PT personal training to fall back onto. I'm pretty lucky that I have good.
Do you like training people?
Yeah, I
Do
love
you
it.
like
I
training-
absolutely get. Yeah, I love it.
So what's the difference between Sinead as a fighter, the main character, essentially,
Mhm.
and Sinead as a coach? Who are those people? Because they can't be the same people.
No, they're definitely not the same people. Sinead and fighting is, I don't say aggressive. That sounds mad, but like I'm more like.
We're trying to give you guys funding.
Yeah,
so
I'm trying to like not say
energetic, supportive.
Yeah, no, with coaching, I like helping people. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I get a good kick out of it when they've hit their goals or they've toned up, they've lost their weight, whatever they wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? Where like fighting is about me.
Yeah.
Like it's an individual sport. At the end of the day. I know you have your team but you're the only one.
Well, your team are there for you.
Yeah.
To get better.
Yeah, but you're the only one going in the cage at the end of the day. You know, where with coaching, it's a team effort.
Yeah.
Like it's you and your client.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's. Yeah.
You spoke about failing. Has there been any competition that you've competed in that you felt like you failed?
Twice.
Where?
2 fights. I've lost 2 fights where I should have won.
When were these?
One was in Austria.
This was July, was it?
No, that was 4 Nations. This was in June. Just gone.
Yeah.
I lost in Austria.
Okay.
And I should have
Was
won.
that the semi-final?
No, that's July. This
Okay,
was just
so-
one
so-
fight. This
Oh,
was
it was just one.
wasn't a
Oh, that's the
competition.
one in Prague that I was meant to come to, but I was busy or something. Well, I wasn't meant to come, but I said I was going to come.
Yeah, she said she was gonna come to Prague.
And then I was just like, bro, I actually have a job.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry.
Prague
what
is the
happened?
first. Prague was my very first fight.
Ever.
My first MMA fight. I lost in the first round.
How did
I got
that feel?
armbarred.
You got armbarred.
Armbarred.
What is that?
Armbarred. Sorry, I can't take this serious.
Please do.
Armbarred.
Yeah.
It's like an arm lock.
Oh shit.
Armbarred.
Yeah.
But I hope it wasn't real. Armbarred. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got armbarred in the first.
Don't need to keep saying that. I heard you.
I know I have to repeat it, so you know what I'm saying.
I'm bad.
In the first round,
Yeah.
and I was devastated. I
First
actually
round?
felt like someone died.
Yeah.
I was horrible. Yeah, it was
What do
horrible.
you mean? Do you feel like you were ill prepared? Like, why do you? So okay, you lost.
Because I made a mistake.
What was the mistake?
It was a grappling mistake. It was a very basic mistake. Very basic mistake.
Yeah.
I left my arm in.
Yeah.
That was in the position.
Why do you feel you made that mistake?
Because I was trying to punch in the face. I was getting too much kick.
Oh my god! I'm sorry.
I was enjoying
I'm
myself.
So sorry.
Yeah, and then I fucking forgot
Yeah.
about the arm. But anyway, and to this day, it haunts me. It haunts me because it was such a basic mistake, beginner mistake.
What did you learn from that fight?
Not to leave my arm in there. Never done it again.
Okay, apart from that,
I actually did do it
I think
again.
you should have learned that before the fight.
Yeah,
like, no offense or anything.
I actually did do it again, and I lost a fight with the same technique.
Okay, so you don't learn lessons.
No, now I have, but like for the 2 fight I
Yeah.
didn't. It was and that fight is the other one. It haunts me. The only 2 fights is by flipping
So first it was the first round. How many minutes into the first round?
Oh, it's like 2 minutes left or something.
So
it's like a minute
you
and a half.
You weren't even
no,
halfway through the
it
first
was
round.
there was 1 minute left, I think. So I was.
So you're just about.
And I was
making it.
beating the shit.
So what was it like? Was it a tap out? Like was
yeah,
it,
I just my arm was about to snap.
Oh, sorry.
I was beating her and I was like, this is great, and then boom, and I was like, oh.
How do you deal with that? Like, I've only ever played team sports.
Yeah.
But I've played in either center back or center forward. So it's either we win a game because of me or we can lose a game because of me. But everything is on you regardless. You get me?
Yeah.
But how do you deal with that? How do you tap out and now you have to turn around to your team? What does that feel like?
It's like someone's died. It's horrible. It's horrible. Like I actually got real depressed. I was really depressed for, like, you act all grand after the fight, but in your head mentally you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I tapped out. Can't believe that happened. Like, what a stupid.
Do you feel almost embarrassed?
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my god. And no one gives 2 shots at amateur. If you win or you lose, it's all experience. You're not getting paid for this. Now, when you go to pro, you know what I mean? But you get mad embarrassed.
How do your team deal with you?
Like, John was like, the one thing that John said, now John wouldn't be a talker. He wouldn't sit there and be like, right, so this is what, this is how it makes you feel better, whatever. The one thing he said to me is, what would you have done if you'd won? You'd gone back to the gym. So what are you going to do now that you've lost? You're going to go back to the gym.
And that was my next question. How do you get ready for your next fight after that?
Just to bite the bullet.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Sit around all day?
Yeah.
And cry? And get upset?
You did that, but let's not pretend I didn't do that.
Yeah, I did do that. Yeah, but
so what are you gonna do? I did it.
Yeah, I cried.
So you do that, and you need to feel your feelings. And
but that's the thing, you have to feel them. Because you don't feel them, you're just gonna bring it into your next fight camp. So I felt the feelings, and then I was like, right, now it's just time to move on to the next one. Yeah.
And then the next one you also lost. Or is that a different one?
No, that was a different one.
A couple of ones later.
Yeah, months later.
So obviously you've come out of a big loss for you, or your first loss. I don't think it's a big loss. I think it's
a first loss. I wouldn't. Yeah.
You go through. You win a couple more. How are you feeling at this stage? You're good. You're up.
Great. I'm like, this is bloody
best fighter in the world.
Yeah, and then I get armbarred again.
Yeah. How does that feel?
It's actually embarrassing to talk about.
Why?
Because it's
in your sport. It's almost like missing like a tap in almost.
It haunts me. Like it haunts me. When I'm in training and it's hard to explain, but it haunts you. Like,
do you feel like that's why you did it again?
Yeah, I overthought. That's exactly what John said. Like, overthought about it. Oh my god, my arms. I wasn't worried about anything else. Yeah. And then when I thought about something else, I got armbarred. Sure. So
now you're going into your next fight.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
What happens now?
Not getting armbarred.
How do you not do that?
Just gotta keep the strike.
No arms.
Yeah, but like, I didn't get armbar. Like, I actually won my last fight by armbar in Liverpool.
There we go.
So I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's alright.
Now I have to get one more armbar and then 2 armbars there.
Or you just don't leave the arms.
Yeah, I might just leave the arms away. Yeah,
kicker. So this is another. I find fighters either delusional or very emotionally intelligent. And I feel like there's a very thin line between both of those.
100%.
Which one are you?
I would like to say I'm intelligent. I don't think I'm delusional. I know my reality.
Yeah.
There's no point in saying, oh yeah, I'm the best.
Should you?
Should I?
Should you think like that?
I do think, oh yeah, okay. When I go to fight, like, right, okay, you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I don't go around saying I'm the best. Yeah. You just got armbarred twice, sure.
Do you feel like that's because you're a girl? Do you feel like if you carried yourself like McGregor, there'd be a problem?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe actually. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And have you? It might be something you've never thought about, but
no,
in the sense of you not being, what's the word? Conventionally feminine, you are still a woman, and there are certain gender roles that still apply to you, and there's certain things that you've internalized, and the world has made you feel like. Because I find like footballers, women can't be a certain way, can't act like that, can't say that.
Yeah. Yeah, well that's
Is that an internal limitation or is that an external limitation? Or is it unconscious?
I think it's unconscious. Yeah, well, me personally, I make sure I don't say stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, right, okay, don't say that.
Yeah.
Or if I say it in my head, I'm like, right, don't say that out loud.
What do you mean? Don't say that you're the best?
Yeah.
Like being cocky?
Yeah, like I couldn't be cocky. I couldn't. I personally couldn't.
Yeah.
I find it like
it's
just me as
a
a person.
I was gonna say it doesn't seem like it works with your personality.
No, I couldn't go around saying
So
walk into a
motivate
room
yourself.
like I'm the best.
Yeah.
You got armbar.
How does that? Okay, away from the armbar.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's traumatic.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I can't say that because I don't think I am. Do you know what I mean?
How do you feel about yourself? So what's the truth for you?
Like, I know I'm a good fighter. Like, people don't want to fight me. Like, I can't get matched in Ireland. Do you know what I mean?
My guy.
I can't. 4 girls. Like, even though, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've not said anything. That's me. That's without me being cocky.
Yeah.
I'm just being myself. Like, do you know what I mean?
You step into a room, they know what it is.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Have you ever thought about that though?
No, I don't think about anything like that. I just go in, train, fight. That's it. I don't think about like, my image.
This is why.
As long as I'm happy with my image.
Cool.
I don't need to be like, oh God, I have to like act cocky or I have to.
That
doesn't even come to my head.
I love it.
Yeah, maybe it should, but I just want to train
yourself.
Fight.
I love it. Like you're just in there for the sport, and that's what you want to do.
The sport, it's for me at the end of the day.
Yeah, I love that.
Whether you want to fight me or not.
I'm really inspired by you.
I really.
Yeah.
Huh.
I no, genuinely. I overthink a lot.
Oh yeah.
That's why I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I think even in sport, like there's a couple of games that 10 minutes defenders got in my head, just take me off, bro.
Yeah.
There's no
it happens though.
It
happens to me as well in training.
And I just kind of have to go.
Yeah.
So talk to me about this fight coming up.
Is it Italy?
Italy.
Yeah, Venice.
Feeling good.
Yeah, Europeans. So it's competition. So
like
is 3 fights.
Okay. Do you know any of these people that?
No, I haven't even checked.
So how do you do scouting for your sport?
I don't do it.
You don't. You just go in.
My coach does it. I don't watch the videos. Yeah.
So he goes in and he kind of navigates.
I psych myself out too much.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, she's good at this. She's good at this. Yeah, no, let him do that and just tell me what to do. You know.
It's great.
It's my first one as a senior, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all gonna be old.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's one of the biggest ones in the world.
Yeah, in the world.
Europe, and then well, IMAF it's the organization.
Yeah,
in the world,
so
they do like Europeans, worlds, Oceanias, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Tell me about one experience that's changed your life.
One experience that changed my life. Probably moving to Dublin.
Yeah.
I know it's only small, but
it's not small.
If I was still in Mayo, I'd be probably milking the cows or something in the field next door. I won't be doing anything like this, you know. I'd be bloody, I don't know what I'd be doing. There's not a lot of opportunities in Mayo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very small, like, so I don't know. I'd probably still be working in Tesco or something. You know what I mean? As I'm working in Tesco.
And I'm glad you've gotten the experiences and you've gotten the support you've had so far.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're building a really good team that believes in you, and that
takes time.
That's most important, and that's the thing. And you're still young. Like what? You're 23.
21.
Janie Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, you're.
I'm young.
I'm 26.
Yeah.
Like you have genuinely like when I was 21, like I would just come back from America.
Yeah.
I was like going to I would just come back from America, and I thought my career was over.
Yeah.
And I got sick last year, and I plan on going back to football. Like I don't know I don't know if I'm gonna be the best, but I've seen the sport and I've seen life in a different way because of that. I wish I didn't, because I wish I was that fearless little 10-year-old. I thought I was going to be the first female footballer to play for Liverpool. Like, I thought Steven Gerrard was he'll be waiting for me. And that's what I'm saying. It's a level of delusion, right? It's not that you don't think. It's not that you don't know what else is going on in the world. It's that you're choosing to focus on this one thing.
Yeah,
and that's all.
That's what people don't understand. People are like, you're like, right now, you spend too much time in the gym. Well, I'm concentrating on my career. Yeah. It's not your career.
Yeah.
You're out doing whatever.
And you're in a great place for 21.
I think I am.
You're in an amazing, like, I don't know anything about your sport and the longevity and like kind of age.
Yeah. No, I'm on track.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, to be fighting at the level you're at in the weight that you're at, because you're only kind of going to be fluctuating between that weight and the lower. Exactly. So as you grow older, people are already kind of scared of you. Hopefully it's something that recognizes hopefully it's something that is recognized in Ireland, but at the same time you want to have your name in Europe. And unfortunately, how does that make you feel that you might have to leave your home country in the place that you want to do something in, and you might only be great once you leave it. How does that make you feel?
It's mental because there's so many girls. Not so many. Okay, that's an exaggeration. There's enough girls for me to get fights in Ireland. There is enough. But they
And the
just don't
system,
want to.
they don't want to, and the system isn't allowing for it.
No, they don't want to.
But
there's venues and there's shows that do fights like that. Yeah, like there's Cage Legacy, there's Clan Wars.
Why don't they want to? Like, apart from the fact that you are
they're chickens.
Good. Okay, cool. Let's see that.
They're chickens. Yeah, like they don't want to fight me for no reason. It's not. I don't know. I don't read their mind. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I matched to fight in November, but I'm fighting in the UK.
Do you feel like if there was funding in Ireland for your sport, that wouldn't be a problem? Because we see people make obviously money is a thing that I think has ruined boxing, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But, and I think that's why a lot of people have moved to MMA, and the people who really like the arts like that, like there's more affinity to MMA right now. But do you also feel like the funding could make it more like noticeable, right?
100%.
Because it's something where if I'm about to get knocked out, but I get 10K for it, bro, knock me out. Knock me out right now.
That's not how it goes.
I don't care. Knock me out, bro.
I'm taking the 10K.
I'm burned. But what's next for you? What's next in your plans? Obviously this fight, but what's next? What's your next goal on your list that you need to get to?
For MMA or just in life? My business is doing pretty well.
What's your business?
My personal training and online coaching.
Yeah.
It's doing pretty well. I want to kind of develop that into like clothing and stuff like that. It's actually in the works now. I have like mock-ups and stuff, so I'm just getting samples and stuff. So yeah, I want to do things like that, and just take my career as it comes. Like you said, I'm only 21. Bro, like if I'm happy to be pro by I'm 23, like
you're genuinely killing it.
Yeah, I have loads of time. Loads of time. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
No.
That I might have missed out on?
No, I think we covered everything there. Iron burns and everything.
But yeah, no, thank you so much for
no worries. Thanks for having me.
No, literally, like I'm genuinely.
I'm glad we had this chat.
I'm genuinely inspired by you, and I wish you all the best. And obviously, Sports Ireland, if you're watching this, she's not aggressive. But yeah, best of luck in your next fight and everything else. And lads, what is it? January's coming. If you need to lose weight, you get me, like New Year's resolution. Hit my girl up. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much.